Drive charging. 4, 3, 2.
This video will be an examination of some of the world's top magicians. Almost everyone believes that the best magicians in the world only use incredibly quick sleight of hand to perform their quote tricks. Many have the impression that the top magicians are just so good at what they do that there's a natural explanation for their performances, even if we can't see it or figure it out. In other words, that there must be a non-spiritual explanation for all the apparent signs and wonders magicians perform. While this may be the correct conclusion for some of the quote magic that people generally see, there are other magic acts that clearly go beyond the laws of nature. Here is a young magician that can make CDs instantly appear. He will also change their size, shape, and color. Notice that the magic show he performs on is blasphemously called, quote, God Hands 2. For example, there is no way without supernatural assistance that cards can instantly appear in someone's hands out of thin air. But as you can see, that is exactly what is happening. Yet most will still insist, despite the clear evidence to the contrary, that these magic acts do have an explanation that doesn't require the supernatural to be involved. They will say that being this good at magic is only the result of a tremendous amount of hard work which has enabled them their craft. But that can't be the real explanation for how these individuals are able to perform this kind of magic.
You know, it's funny, even in this day and age, they still think magicians use their sleeves. So all you do is cast a spell. And there's the A's.
They could only perform these signs and wonders with the assistance of spiritual forces. As we will see, this has even been admitted by the top magician. In this video, I will provide overwhelming evidence that most of the top magicians, whether they know it or not, are possessed, and that they are certainly assisted by demons or fallen angels. Some may ask how I believe these magicians became possessed and fell under such demonic control. Most of them became possessed by attempting to contact spirits or by fooling around with the occult. Some of them may have sold their souls to the devil. In return, the devil gave them special power, fame, and fortune in this world. Assistance from the devil and demons is the way these top magicians have acquired these special, quote, magic skills, which makes them different from regular magicians who aren't necessarily receiving spiritual intervention. The spiritual assistance and intervention of demons is the only explanation for how the world's top magicians are able to do what they do. In this video, you will see many examples of false signs formed by many of the top magicians in the world. This will prove that a spiritual world exists. You have just seen some footage of magicians referred to as card manipulators. Cards instantly appear in their hands, and they don't appear there from any known natural source. This is similar to another kind of magic also called mask changing. In face, look-like masks instantly appear on the faces of the performers. The so-called art form of face changing originated in China. Even though more than 1.35 billion people live in China, it is estimated that only about 200 practice face changing. We will take a closer look at arguably the top 2 face changers in the world, Wei Shu Quan and He Hongqing. Quan is considered to be the best face changer in the world. For example, in one of his 3-minute performances, he changed his face 60 different times. It's quite obvious from looking at different performances by Quan that he could change his face 500 different times in 3 minutes. Take a look at this guy. He doesn't even touch his face. Notice how every single time he changes his quote mask, it is placed perfectly on his face, covering his eyes and nose every single time. Quan also said taught him this secretive practice was destined to teach him face changing. Quan went on to say that he was taught face changing in only 3 days. Quan and other face changers will even interact with the audience and change their face right in front of them. Quan spoke about one of his shows in which 3 cameras were set up to record his performance. The cameramen were attempting to discover how he makes the rapid changes. 2 cameras were right in front of him, while one followed from behind. Nevertheless, they still couldn't find anything that gave them any insight into how he is able to change his face so quickly. Someone believes his process of changing the masks is natural. He would have to be storing them somewhere, right? But face changers like Quan take off their hat after their performance. You can see that there aren't any masks in the hat they wear. You can look at it. There isn't even one mask inside their hat. So where are they storing the masks? Notice how tight the outfit is below the neck. Obviously, the masks aren't being placed there either. What's really happening is that the masks are actually disappearing instantly. That's why even to this day, no video camera in the world has ever picked up even one clue as to how their quote masks are changing. No one has been able to give a natural explanation for how these face changers are able to do what they do. The only explanation is a spiritual. In these clips, also notice that various face changers use a hat with horns on it. He Hongqing is the fastest face changer in China. Notice the 2 horns on top of his hat. One skeptic is baffled by how he changes his face as quickly as he does. But the skeptic doesn't believe it's supernatural. He explained to the viewing audience that others have tried to slow the recording down to figure out how he does it. But he says that there is no point in doing that because the magician is just, quote, too good at what he does. One cameraman admitted that he adjusted his camera to capture how the changes were being made, but he couldn't pick up any to how it's being done. The real explanation for how the instant changes are made is that they happen with the assistance of demons. World-famous face changer Quan said, quote, face changing is a very secretive art form.
邊面嘅技巧呢，就係好秘密嘅。
Quan will not only change his face over and over again during his performances, but he will also instantly change the color of his entire outfit. So where is he getting the new outfits that he's instantly changing into? There's no place for him to store the outfits or the masks. How is he able to switch and move the outfits and the masks perfectly in the blink of an eye? If people are looking for a natural explanation for these acts, they won't find one. There's simply no natural explanation for the instant transformation of his garments or masks, let alone both. In this clip, face changer He Hongqing makes an interesting statement about how spontaneous changes are made.
Actually, what is amazing about face changing is its mystery. Through performance and movements, performers are in effect playing with magic. In fact, face changing is a kind of magic.
He essentially admits that face changing is supernatural when he says that face changing is, quote, playing with magic.